One of the themes that stood out to me the most in The Best We Can Do by T. Boy was on the refugee resettlement and race issue with Vietnamese citizens coming into America. In the novel, Bui's family struggled to find peace, having to face multiple obstacles. Ma and Bo had a difficult time finding jobs because their degrees that were earned in Vietnam were not valid in the U.S.
And so the theme I focused on was the family's survival, and I tried to think about what enabled the family to survive. So I have in bullet points how the family's fortunes compared to other Vietnamese at the time. Sorry, I guess I should have been sharing my screen. So that's the first timeline. I got you back. So that's the first timeline. It's a very straightforward historical chronology. And the second handout provides historical context to give you the sense of these people, this family survived, but how many people perished during that particular time period, or during that particular event.
But back to the origins of it, when it was just a seed in my head, this was a note that I made to myself to tell myself, to state my thesis, basically, what I was trying to do with this project. And my son, who's now almost 16 years old, was just a baby then. And I said to myself that I hold my baby close and write with confidence that some things are good to forget, like childbirth, and some things should not be forgotten, like history. And I collect my family stories not because we are special or different, but because they're necessary for me to piece together, to remember the reasons why we left Vietnam, why there was so much bloodshed, and why no Vietnam War movie has ever answered my questions.
Fingers crossed.
Hi, my name is Senza Donob and I am a Tibetan American. I've enjoyed The Best We Can Do because I'm able to see myself and my family's lived experiences reflected within school curricula, but also because of the cool conversations we have had in our classroom. So for planning lessons, I encourage very open discussions about the contents of the book because Fowler would stop after reading a chapter with a very general question about what our thoughts were. And our discussions ranged from love languages in Asian households to anything between like our reflections from history classes and more. I felt like it was a very organic way to create enthusiasm and broadening perspectives. And more generally, I feel that this book is a turning point to include more perspectives and lived experiences. So
Okay, I'm glad you got to hear that, because I thought it was a nice, thoughtful kind of minute there from Tenzin. What are some of the joys? Just to close out, I'm really seeing how it's developing their critical thinking. You know, conversations are just my 100% focus this year in terms of pedagogy. If you're looking at Bloom's taxonomy, you know, they're really applying a lot of the pieces from analyzing, what have we got here, some evaluating, hypothesizing, debating, linking, deconstructing. I mean, you know, take your pick. There's a lot that's being touched on that's really nice. And the intellectual challenge of you saw in Brittany's writing, like how can we, you know, jump across time and space and connect to Bo hiding out from the rat-a-tat-tat of the machine gun and the sounds of death, to PTSD that he must have experienced, his education gaps, and relating that to kids in urban communities. So we're having some really cool conversations and kind of realizations around those connection attempts. Yeah, bottom line, students are enjoying it. They love the book. And what can I say? It's a really intense, it's unique. It's like nothing else I've ever seen. And I think it's really important.
Is a really unique group of kiddos with quirks and little things that I think facilitated a connection to the text in ways that I wasn't even anticipating. So it was a great experience. I didn't have a ton planned going into the process. And I think that was kind of fun. It was just like I wanted to see what happened, and I wanted it to be as student facilitated as possible, because I think I'm trying to do more of that in my course, which is capstone, and students take that course in senior year. And I just wanted to see like where students were taking leadership and going and kind of thinking through next steps in ways that were organic. So